you know, when we say Jamaican female part fat, we say buff, and we say buduf buff, mean big woman. So it's very similar. The connotation is the same.
Been feeling trapped down on the floor. I don't know what for. Feels like I'm gonna lose. Silence takes a hold. I can't let it go. Chain up, no one knows. But I won't let the stormy.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking. If you haven't already subscribed, just hit that subscribe button down below, and don't forget to also hit the notification bell so that whenever I put out a video you can go and you can watch it. You can get notified that it's out and you can go watch it. So as you know, I recently got back from Ghana, and while in Ghana I did a video with Nappy about similarities between Jamaicans and Ghanaians. And a lot of people were saying that it wasn't completed, that we should do another part. So anyways, I went and I did some research about things that are similar between both countries. I mean, as a Jamaican, we always heard that we were from the Ashanti tribe in Ghana, so we knew that we had similarities. But being here in Ghana and looking back at the different cultural practices that we have, I realized that there are quite a few significant similarities. So that's what I'm going to be going through now. I have a friend who doesn't want to be seen on camera, so she'll be guiding me, asking me questions and all that good stuff, so you'll probably hear her in the background. Okay, I do hope you like this video, and again, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Oh, by the way, if you see me looking down, it's because I have some notes. I don't want to forget anything. So yeah, I'm not cast-eyed or anything like that. So yeah, let's go.
Okay, so this was your first trip to Ghana. So my question is, you stepped foot on Ghana's land, and what were the first thoughts that came to mind as you kind of reflect on how the similarities of Ghana and Jamaica are?
Alright, so first of all, I was just amazed at how much the people looked like us. That was the first thing. And secondly, it was just so similar because back in Jamaica, you know, you're on the streets and you have all these people peddling, selling things, and it was the same thing. Like, you had the street vendors, you had people coming up to your cars, you know, trying to get you to buy something, and just how they got your attention. It was very familiar to me, right? You know, back in Jamaica, I would say, mommy this, or even if you're a teacher, they say teacher. They know that you're a teacher, they say teacher, buy something for me, no, buy something for the little boy at home, and you know, stuff like that. And it was just very similar. The way they bantered, the way they spoke to you, the way they called to us, it was very similar. It was very familiar. Like, I felt as if I was really back home.
So it sounds like right away you noticed the similarities. So my question would be for you is, what other things did you see? Were there foods that kind of were similar, or was it totally different?
Alright, as it relates to food, and Ghanaians, don't kill me. Don't kill me, please. The one difference, the one thing that surprised me was that Ghanaian food wasn't spicy. I was expecting it to be more spicy. It wasn't. But it was very flavorful, so I knew that, you know, the similarity was there in us seasoning our foods. Because, like, having been to Kenya and having their nama choma and seeing them prepare the nama choma, is just like raw meat slapped on a grill, and then they add salt and pepper after. But how they prepare their meat in Ghana, it's actually seasoned and then grilled or fried or whatever. That's how we prepare our meat. So I know that the way we prepare our meat came definitely from them. Foods, I realized that they like cocoyam, banko, kenke, all those things. Even though we don't have banko and kenke in Jamaica, it's traditional for our men especially to have them love provision, gum provision, yam, banana, dumpling, and stuff like that. Like, Jamaican men do not go towards rice and peas. Really, they have it because, you know, it's a part of our tradition. But if you give a hardworking man, comes from work and comes home, he's expecting some good yam and banana, pumpkin. And I realized, because the family that we stayed with in Ghana, he didn't like rice. Like, you know, when we go out to eat, he's like, if that's all they have, if they have the fried rice and the jollof, yeah, I'll eat it, but he'll just hold me over. What he wanted was his banko, kenke, fufu. That's what he wanted, the heavy food. right? So I guess that's something that has carried over. Like men traditionally liking heavier foods, so that was also another similarity with foods. Okay, what else? Oh, aki. How could I ever forget aki? Our national dish came from Ghana, even though I think we're still like the only people who actually eat it, because most people don't eat it because they say it's poisonous. But aki came directly from Ghana, and it is our national dish, so that is of course some sort of significance as well.
All right, Judy, I remember being in college and a Ghanaian friend of mine making a comment about my hardle bread, and I was wondering, if you had seen some kind of a bread that was like the one hardle bread, because he said that they had it in Ghana as well.
Listen to me, my girl. We went to Cape Coast, to the castle in Cape Coast, and we saw some bread. I'm selling some bread on the street side, and I love bread. And we stopped and we got some, tasted it, same hardware bread. Trust me, it was so good. Hardware bread, thick but soft and nice. Trust me, it was the same thing. Like it was good. It was the same bread. So I'm thinking that's where we got it from. Even though there's also like a hardware bread in Nigeria too. So I don't know where we got it from, but Ghana or Nigeria, it's definitely West. We definitely got it from our ancestors. It was so good. It was very similar. Yeah, it was very similar.
Sorry, I want to go back to the language part when you were talking about some of the mannerisms that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any parts of the language that you understood, or any words that maybe were similar that I think it's called Pidgin English in Ghana that they use. Were there any words that you understood or any similarities?
Busy. Like, I didn't know that they call the cola nut busy as well, because like in Nigeria they say cola, like other people know that's cola, but it was busy. Like that's what we call it as well in Jamaica, And then like how they repeat some of their words, like we said true, real, manal, true thing, that we repeat words for emphasis, and they basically did the same thing as well too. Like I saw that they did the same thing, and then some words like bafu, and when I found out what that meant, like bafu meant big, fat, and thinking about like our songs, or we think buduf baf and the two bufu, which means big, fat. So the words are very similar. They might be pronounced slightly different, but the what's the word? What's the English word for it? I don't know right now. It's slipping my mind, but it's very similar. You can see where you get it from. And then there's some words too in Chui. Somebody needs to tell me how to pronounce that word. But that basically translate directly into patois. Not even English, but translates directly to patois. Like Kwalarnum or Nkwalarnum, please forgive me, translates directly to picnic them. And they say messe or misse, which is like similar to misse, to ours, to our misse. So you can see that the language, we definitely got a lot of our language from them, because the words are very similar, the tonality is the same, yes, all that good stuff. Alright, so another word that is used both in Ghana and Jamaica as well, bafan. So Ghanaians, when they say bafan, they speak about a child who has not learned to walk in the first 2 to 7 years. The child is slow. And when we speak about bafan in Jamaica, we mean that someone who is handicapped or incapable of doing things, right? Another word that's similar to that we obviously borrowed from them, is patois. And we say patu, but it means owl. We're speaking about the bird, the owl. So some other words that also came from the akans in Ghana, words like dopi, doti, kaba, jinal, mumu, fufu. Those are all words. Those are words that we use in our dialect daily, and all those words came from akan or have akan origin. When we speak about our names, like the names given in Ghana are based on the day that you were born. So like Kwasi is Sunday born, I think, for male, and we will give boys names like Kwashi, right? So even though it's phonetically the same, right? It's spelled differently, but it's phonetically it's the same. And we just thought we're giving them nicknames, but actually they were names that had their origin in Ghana. So even that is those things are similar. Same. Also, I realized that the tonality, how we speak, just like how patois is very colorful, and the way in which you speak the words would basically tell you what it means if you don't understand. That was the same thing that I got from them. They were in the bus, driving with them in the bus, how they argued with the conductors, and it was just very similar. Yeah, the tonality was the same. You could tell that there definitely was similarity there as well.
That makes me think about even the music and even the dancing. Were you able to see any connections between Jamaica and Ghana as well?
As it relates to dancing, I was not privy. Like, I didn't get a chance to see, like, go to see another cultural dances. But I'll definitely do that next time I go back in December. But just seeing how they dance, like at the clubs or wherever, it's very similar to us. And again, I'm gonna compare it to Kenya, because Kenya is east and Ghana is west. Kenyans dance with their shoulders, with their hands. They do a lot of hand dancing. But the Ghanaians, they dance with their waist like us, and their feet. It's more similar to what we are accustomed to back in the Caribbean and in Jamaica. Music, I can't speak to us borrowing from them in terms of music, but Ghana and Jamaica do have a connection as it relates to reggae. They have a lot of reggae influence, dancehall influence in their music. Recently, Shatta Wale did a song with Beanie Man. Yeah, so there's lots of connections there in terms of that.
Okay, so is there anything more you can expand on when you talk about culture, the similarities of the culture between Ghana and Jamaican culture?
The first thing that comes to mind is Anansi. So I think they call it Anansi, but it's we say Anansi, and it's the same character, that troublesome, witty spider who's always in problems. But I think we have extended it a bit, because when I spoke to one of my Ghanaian friends, he didn't know about brother dog and brother puss, but we also have brother dog and brother puss in ours. But the stories are the same. He has the same character. How we tell the stories around the campfire and all of that. It's the same sort of thing. So that is one of the things that definitely we know comes from Ghana. And then too, when I look at how we bury our dead, nine, the whole nine tradition is also from Ghana. But they said it used to be like over a longer period before. Now it has it's just like one day. You'll have people staying at the house, like going to visit the people, up till the 9th day, where they have the big celebration, the big, the coffee and the fried fish and the rum and all that stuff. But it used to be longer back then. But we still have that tradition. The Gere dancers come out in their white, and the polka dancers, and they sing the songs, I come with this to come, I come with this to come, and we no want no botheration. Oh. So, the songs, and, going, sending out the spirit. Well, then we still have that tradition. As it relates also to burying our dead, they still sprinkle, before they dig the grave, they sprinkle rum around the burial site to appease the gods, and all of that stuff. Killing the chicken or the goat and sprinkling the blood around as well. That's tradition that is still carried on. Yeah, so those are some things that we have. Also, the abeng horn, the Maroons, who are also from the Akan tribe in Ghana, they still blow the abeng horn before they move the dead into where they're going to be buried. So that's also a tradition that is carried forward as well.
All right, so I think it was you that was mentioning something about the naming of Jamaica. Could you tell us more about that?
All right, so I was surprised because back home, in Jamaica, we do the history classes or whatever. They're always telling us that the name Jamaica was given by the Arawaks, right? But then that's what we always grew up with, Jamaica, whatever, Spanish, Jamaica, and whatever, we changed it to Jamaica English. But I was informed that Jamaica actually came from the Chui language in Ghana, because they said when the slaves got to Jamaica, well, got to the island, and they realized that they had actually come to stay. They weren't going back. You know, they had that realization that they weren't going back, and they said, it seems as if we have come here to stay permanently. And in their language, Jama means perhaps, and Yaka means to stay permanently. So Jamaica, 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 until it eventually, translated, blended together to become Jamaica. So that's the story, and I am inclined to go with that one. So yeah, so I don't know, you tell me which one. Do you think it was from the Arawaks, or do you think it came from the Ghanaian slaves who were saying Jamaica? So that's another story as to how Jamaica got its name. So that in itself is very significant as well.
Now, Judy, I know we haven't talked about this, but I've also heard that one of the reasons why many of the West Africans in Jamaica were able to acclimate very quickly to the Jamaican environment was because of how similar the geography of Jamaica and, we'll say, Ghana or Nigeria. Did you notice any similarities between how, physically, how the landscapes were to Jamaica as well?
Yes, I think the terrain is the same, and I think that also contributed to the fact, contributed to us having successful revolts, especially when we look at the Maroons, how they were able to fight off and to ward off the British when they were trying to overpower them. It was easy for them to kind of fight them off and ward them off, because the terrain was very similar. It was very similar to what they were used to, so they knew where to go and how to navigate the hills and the valleys and the mountains and the rivers and all of that. It was very similar. And also the way the houses are built, if you compare, and I'll try to put some pictures here, if you compare Wanku Hill in Jamaica to Abunia in Ghana, the way the houses are built and the terrain is so similar, right? So I think knowledge of their terrain and just how similar it was to Jamaica gave them that extra advantage in being successful in their fight against the Maroons. Speaking about the Maroons now, in their fight against the British. Well, I have to say this, that Jamaica doesn't really have a negative idea or thoughts or associations of Africa. A lot of people will say they want to at least visit Africa, and I'm just telling you, go. Don't rely on me or rely on anyone else to tell you what Africa is like, what Ghana is like, what your ancestors' homes were like. Now you have visa-free entry into Ghana. Even if you don't have a U.S. visa, you can always go through Panama, Brazil, and get there. It might be a little bit longer, might be a bit more expensive, but save for it and go. Go experience. Go see where your cultural norms, your folklore, where all those things are from. If we look at the Jamaican culture, we see all the evidences of African retentions there, especially from the Akans of Ghana and the Igbos of Nigeria. But I'll do another video on the Igbos of Nigeria after. So as I said, go learn about your culture. Go learn everything there is to know about where your people come from, and in essence where you are from. I hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. In the comment section below, if there are any questions that you have, anything that I said that wasn't necessarily correct, or you want more explanation, or you have more information on it, please feel free to do that comment, or to leave the comment in the comment section below. And let me just tell my friend Kashima, thank you for being an invisible guest on this video. And again, I'll see you later. Don't forget to subscribe, okay? Please. See ya.